Trump and RFK Jr. might be banning the COVID vaccine in the next coming months. This is reporting that comes from the Daily Beast. I got to read a little bit of this to you because, of course, the framing from the Daily Beast, which is an ultra-liberal site that published, including several articles about me, calling me a conspiracy theorist during COVID because I said the vaccine doesn't stop the spread, which is such a conspiracy theory. Will they ever issue an apology or a retraction for that? No, they won't. They wrote this: Trump and RFK Jr. to ban COVID-19 vaccine within months. The Trump administration will move to pull the COVID vaccines off the U.S. market within months. One of RF Kennedy Jr.'s closest associates has told the Daily Beast. Dr. Aseem Malhotra, a British cardiologist who has repeatedly claimed in the face of scientific consensus that the vaccines are more dangerous than the virus, scientific consensus, told the Daily Beast that Kennedy's stance is shared by influential members of President Donald Trump's family. Like Kennedy himself, no Trump holds any scientific qualifications. Of course, the Daily Beast wants to throw that out there. Newsweek also reported on this one. And they give it a little bit of a better, they shine a slightly better light on it than Daily Beast, which is known for just being as clickbaity as possible. But Newsweek says President Donald Trump and Health and Human Services Secretary RFK Jr. are allegedly planning to ban the COVID vaccine within months, years after Trump labeled the vaccine's development during the pandemic as a monumental achievement, according to an associate of Kennedy's comments to the Daily Beast. Yes, Trump did call this a monumental achievement. He's been calling it that. So I'm surprised if they're going to ban it. I actually don't think they're going to ban it outright. Maybe they will. Let's see what happens. Dr. Malhotra is saying that it's probably going to be banned by the Trump administration and Kennedy within the next, a month or two, that they're going to be submitting the data and showing that it's actually more dangerous than it is helpful. That is what they're claiming. I don't know. I haven't seen the data. Certainly it's caused a lot of people a lot of problems. The commentary, though, on this Newsweek article, I just have to read some of this to you because it's interesting, some of the things people have said. But they're basically saying that the potential phasing out of the COVID-19 vaccine could be coming in the next few months. And that here's what the White House, so the Daily Beast talked to Dr. Malhotra. He said, yeah, this is potentially happening. The White House denied Malhotra's claims, however, saying in a statement to Newsweek, the administration is relying on gold standard science and is committed to radical transparency to make decisions that affect all Americans. White House spokesperson Kush Desai told Newsweek on Monday. Unless announced by the administration, however, any discussion about HHS policy should be dismissed as baseless speculation. Okay. Then it goes to say this is the Trump administration, and more specifically HHS, under the guidance of Kennedy, is causing confusion for Americans who just want the correct scientific and medical information at their disposal. Dr. Amy Butcher, chief behavioral officer at Lirio, told Newsweek, quote, "My professional view is a scientific consensus is that overall, vaccination is a good thing. It's important for public health. The benefits for most people outweigh the risks. And of course, there are individuals who have health histories where vaccination may be contraindicated, but that's not the majority of people. What I'm seeing as a behavioral scientist is the lack of clarity from the administration and the willingness to change course on what they are calling accepted science." Yeah, because that's how it works, actually. So she's upset. I can't believe you would change course on this. How dare you? The people just tell them the one thing and then just keep doing that one thing. Bloodletting works, right? Lobotomies work. Just stick with it. You already said it. You did it. You claimed it. Stick with it. Never change. Never change. Saying that, so for one, especially with something so fast moving like the COVID vaccine and COVID itself, the science had to change because it was just, okay, we've learned more, and now here's the new information. That is what all the scientists should be championing, saying, look, and I would read this on the Iceland government website because they did it the right way. And they actually would say to the people, look, we don't know very much. As we know, we will tell you. This is what we think. We think this, but this might change. And if it does, we'll let you know right away. And that's the right way to approach people. The Icelandic government didn't treat their population like morons. And they didn't treat them like, you guys just can't handle the truth. If we just told you the reality, you'd be all scared and you'd run around. You guys would be insane people. So we just have to lie to you all the time. No, the Icelandic government actually said, we don't actually know either. We're trying our best. We'll let you know. And they did every time. They would say, hey, by the way, we're not recommending this vaccine anymore for people under 30. They were one of the first to do that. Hey, by the way, we're not, this was never tested on pregnant women. We don't actually know. They were just honest. The people can actually handle some honesty. Here's another one. Dr. Jessica Holzer, the chair of the Department of Population Health and Leadership at the University of New Haven, to Newsweek via the email on Monday said, I am disappointed to hear that there are rumors of a total ban. Even just rumors of a ban are likely to have negative implications for upcoming fall vaccination season as recommendations come out to get vaccines against common fall winter diseases such as the flu, COVID-19, and RSV. That will likely mean fewer people getting vaccinated, resulting in more infections, more serious infections, and more demand for care in clinics and hospitals as people get very sick. This is supposed to be some doctor. How are you a doctor and you can't just read? I mean, all you have to do is read. They're saying if they ban it, it's because it doesn't work, right? If they ban it, it's because it's dangerous. And yet here you are thinking, how dare you? How dare you ban something that doesn't work? People think it works. And so they're going to go and they need this non-working vaccine to stop the spread of COVID, right? This is what she's basically saying. They need these vaccines that don't work. The insanity. People just don't even hear what they're saying when they're saying it. They need these. But they're dangerous. They're going to cause you some cardiomyopathy. Or not, what is it that it causes? A myocarditis. Here I am getting myself banned again by claiming the vaccine does something it doesn't do. Myocarditis or pericarditis. It's going to cause these. People just need the vaccine. Just stop. Don't ban it. Everybody's going to drop dead if they take it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Everybody just needs the vaccine. Everybody just needs the vaccine. I mean, I can't believe that we're this many years out and we're still in this. Here is Dr. Asim Malhotra. He's the one that's been reporting on this. And he's actually sharing here a Grok tweet. He says, sounds about right, unsafe and defective. He calls it unsafe and defective, horrible beyond comprehension. Grok says, as of July 25th, 2025, VAERS has received 1,665,735 reports associated with COVID-19 vaccines. That's the global total. Now, remember, VAERS is an American system. Estimates suggest 60% are U.S.-based, right? Because VAERS is more of an American system. So around 1 million for the USA. That's just in our reporting system, which is voluntary. Many people who have adverse events don't report to VAERS. A lot of doctors won't. For one, the average person doesn't know how to report to VAERS. The average doctor or nurse won't report it, especially if they're ones that are like, I don't want to hear it. Just take your vaccines. Just take your vaccines. Using the 2011 study, less than 1% reporting estimate, this implies over 100 mil. Listen to this, what Grok says. Using the 2011 study, that less than 1% report to VAERS, okay, less than 1% of the adverse events report. That would imply, Grok says, 100 million adverse events in the United States. Though this is approximate, not COVID specific, and reporting rates vary by event type and awareness. Consult CDC for details. I think the majority of people I know who took the vaccine had some sort of adverse event, even if it was just soreness or, I got sick like COVID-like symptoms. That's the one I heard the most. I got the vaccine and then I ended up with COVID-like symptoms. That's an adverse event. Now, they might say, yeah, but that's a positive adverse event. It's fine. It's like you got this so that you got the vaccine so you would get the disease so that it would be more mild the next time you get the disease. I mean, they don't really say it to you like that, but that's kind of the reality of it for a lot of people. When you go to get the vaccine, you kind of have to plan for a couple of days down, like you are intentionally getting yourself sick. You're going to go to the doctor and you say, give me the illness, doc, infect me. And you're infected. And then it could end up where you actually take on the symptoms of the infection. And that's what happened with a lot of people who went and got the vaccine. So I do think it was probably 100 million adverse events. Now, was it 100 million that had severe adverse events? No, I think that there were a lot of people who just got sick after the vaccine. But I also know a lot of people who had adverse events to the vaccine. Way more people than I've ever seen for any other vaccine in my life. That is just the fact of it. I know personally too many people who've had debilitating adverse events from the vaccine. And I don't know if I can say that about any other vaccine in my life. I don't think I have I mean, maybe we weren't paying attention. That's possible. But obviously this vaccine wreaked a lot of havoc for a lot of people. And here's why. Let me just play for you this short little video.
mRNA technology. Lipid nanoparticles go into every organ system, and then once they easily get uptaken into cells, because the cells like this material on the outer coating of the lipid nanoparticles. So they kind of trick the cells uptake them, and then it releases modified mRNA, which then the mRNA goes into what's called ribosomes, these small organelles in your cells. It goes into these ribosomes in all your organ systems and instructs those cells to produce a highly toxic, highly pathogenic, non-human protein, the spike protein. So then you have neurons, you have cardiomyocytes in your heart expressing on the cell's surface non-human toxic proteins. So yeah, these are not vaccines. These are dangerous gene transfer technologies.
And there you go. That was Nicholas Hulscher. I'm actually going to try to get him on the show in the next couple of days. Hopefully we can get him on next week. But yeah, that's the gist of it. That's why potentially Kennedy, with all the data that he's been coming up with, may be going to the Trump administration and saying it's time to just ban it outright, and they might go that direction. They haven't, and they've updated the schedule. What they've done today is they've released a new updated guidance for the COVID vaccine, which stops short of banning it. Now, that doesn't mean they won't ban it in the next couple of months, but as of now, they have not. They basically said if you're 65 and older, we'll give you the vaccine. You know, you're recommended, or you can get it over the age of 65. I think it's recommended. And anybody who's 5 years and older who has some sort of a illness or, is compromised in some way and might want the vaccine. But for everybody else, they're not recommending it. I don't know if they're specifically not recommending it or if they're just not recommending it, if that makes sense. Not like we're not recommending it. We recommend you don't take it. I don't think they're saying that. I'm not sure, though. Or if they're just not recommending it by just not publishing, hey, yeah, we tell you if you're 30, you should take this. They're not saying that. So I'm not really sure which way they're going on that. I'll have to look and kind of follow that a little bit more. But certainly this is the direction that a lot of people have been wanting the Trump administration and the Kennedy Health Administration to go in, which is to really be scrutinizing of these vaccines and potentially outright ban them. So I know a lot of people were mad in the MAHA movement at the beginning that he was focusing a lot on food. Seems like he's now focusing a lot more on vaccines. I know he's also talked a bit about autism, and next month he should be releasing the data on, they've been doing research on what might be causing autism, and they're releasing a lot of that data next month. So looks like he's going, but I don't know what that's going to be. I don't know what they're going to conclude is the cause of autism. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But I think maybe people within the MAHA movement are probably happier about some of this news coming out than they were a few months ago at the beginning of the administration. So we'll wait and see. We'll follow it. I'll keep you posted on all of that. Thank you for watching this clip from the full Kim Iversen Show, which you can catch Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern at KimIversonShow.com. It is free for you to watch. Again, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, KimIversonShow.com. See you there.